Hello, my impatience. Good evening, my impatience. Hi, how are you? It is Andrew, the Android Koloski here, and I am ready to perform for all of you. Start filing in. Start filing in. Start filing in, my impatience. All right. Time to rock and roll here. But you know what I need? I need my impatience to rock and roll. I need you guys to join. All right. At the very least, Rusty, you got to be at my beck and call. At the very least, Rusty needs to be at my... Hey, Dave! Fist bump to Dave! Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Dave. He says, looking sharp, buddy. Looking sharp. Thank you very much. Somebody says, Rusty's at my beck and call. He's required to join whenever I go live. I want Rusty to join. I want Rusty at my beck and call, man. Rusty needs to be at my beck and call. So he says, I'm like a young Tom Cruise. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliments. Better to be compared to a young Tom Cruise than a young Sid Barrett. Better to be compared to a young Tom Cruise than a young Sid Barrett, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm begging for my life. Yeah, so my mother made me an omelet for dinner, and there was an eggshell in the omelet, and I was like, "Oh God, this is disgusting." I wanted to vomit. The egg was fine, but when I crunched into the eggshell, I'm like, "How the fuck did she get the eggshell in the omelet?" You know. Somebody dead cops wants me to cover Whiskey Neat by Hoser. I've never heard the song. Somebody says an eggshell in the omelet is the most normal thing ever. Chill out, bro. Calm down, dude. As they say, calm down, dude. Somebody says, you should be grateful. Go take a home ec class and make your own. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I could complain about my mother's cooking, but quite frankly, I'm lucky she even cooks for me. You know, I should be thankful she even cooks for me. So, don't cry how there's an eggshell in my food. Instead, say, thank you, Mom, for cooking me the egg, even though the eggshell is a little gross. Be appreciative of me Madre's cooking. So I got an endoscopy coming up, and if the endoscopy comes back normal, I do drink a fair amount of coffee. You know, I got a clean bill of health, man. Everything's pretty good on the horizon. You know, everything is going well. You know, obviously. You know, everything is working out in my favor, it seems like, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. All right. Yeah, we're trying to get me the new medication. It's called Cobenfy. However, we're having problems finding a pharmacy that carries it since it's such a new medication. Hopefully we find one soon, Dave. Hopefully we find one soon. Bum, 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 bum. Jokes. Jokes, 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 jokes. Ugh. Yeah, no, we know the pharmacy that carries it, and we're trying to get the pharmacy to deliver to the house. So long story, but we're trying to get this medication, the Cobenfy. Two likes. That's a pretty big number. A pretty big number. Dose. We got dose likes here. Taylor Time wants me to cover Whiskey Neat by Hoiser. To be honest with you, Taylor Time, I've never heard the song, but obviously everybody compares me to a neat, a hikikomori, an incel, and I'm assuming that's what the subject of the song is. So I could give it a listen. I could try to memorize it. It will take a little bit of work, but what do I have but free time? I have a lot of free time. So, what do you guys think about Joe Biden? What do you guys think about Joe Biden pardoning Hunter Biden? Does that mean Hunter Biden's above the law? What do you guys think regarding that? Interestingly enough, I was watching the TV at the gym, and I saw Joe Biden pardons Hunter Biden, and then I saw on the TV right next to it the guy who saved people from the homeless person on the subway being on trial for murder. I'm like, that's kind of ironic, right? Erie says Hunter Biden is so hot. Hey, Erie, how are you? How are you doing, Erie? Welcome back, Erie. She came back to my channel. She couldn't stay away. She thought she could, but she couldn't get enough of Andrew. She thought she could stay away, but not for long enough. God damn it, I'm really addicted to coffee. Like, I have like 50 fucking cups of coffee throughout the day, and I just can't stop drinking coffee. I almost need to go to fucking rehab for coffee, It's just really bad. It's really bad. I just drink cup after cup after cup, and I drink cold brew, which is loaded with caffeine. And I've been doing it for months. I just can't stop drinking coffee. I know, like, I don't have a girlfriend. What other pleasure do I have in my life? But I'm just like really hopping myself up for full of caffeine, The problem is like I know addiction coaches say you got to replace your addiction for a more powerful addiction or a substitute. And what do I have? What other pleasure do I have in my life besides the coffee? The coffee is my pleasure. So like, what am I going to replace the coffee with? What will I replace the coffee with? Hopefully I can meet a girlfriend and friends to motivate me. But right now, coffee is my tuna fish sandwich, so to speak. So he says, maybe find a hobby. Oh, Erie. Erie asks me how many cups of coffee do I drink throughout the day. Trust me, it's bad. I'm getting like really carried away, and I've been doing it for months. I don't even want to get into it. I'm probably close to the caffeine limit for the day every single day. You know what I mean? It's just really bad. I'm probably at like 400 to 600 milligrams of caffeine every single day. I know it's bad. I kind of need an intervention. I was hoping. I mean, Erie says I sound dramatic. Maybe I'm being a little. I'm not really being dramatic though. I'm dead serious. I'm really at like 400. If somebody says, "Dude, it's coffee," it's not like you're taking drugs or alcohol, but it's bad. It's bad. I'm really pumping myself full of coffee, and I probably am close to 400 to 1600 milligrams of caffeine every single day. All kidding aside, I'm not even being dramatic. I'm dead serious. I'm addicted to coffee and caffeine. Somebody says you could easily stop drinking as much coffee. Try some self-discipline. The problem is I have no self-control and I have an addictive personality and I have no desire to stop the coffee. I mean, it's causing bad acid reflux, and I'm afraid it's going to cause esophageal cancer. And ironically, I'm like, the coffee is what's causing the acid reflux, and I'm taking Protonics. It's like, well, you could stop drinking the coffee, maybe. Why are you taking acid reflux medicine? But another. I'm being real, Erie. I'm being dead serious. I'm dead serious, Erie. I'm really hopped up and hooked on coffee, and I have been for months. In a way, obviously you don't want to be hospitalized in the psychiatric hospital because it's prison in there and it's barbaric and it's torture. However, I was kind of hoping if I was in there for a month, I could use that time to kick coffee. I almost need like a rehab program for fucking coffee. I mean, that doesn't really. I mean, do people go to rehab for coffee? I mean, I know it sounds fucking ridiculous, but I really need fucking rehab for coffee. I need some like fucking intervention. I mean, I'm dead serious. I mean, like, I really need intervention and rehab for coffee. I just, like if you look at the recycle bin, like it's full of like every week it's full of like 4 or 5 of these, and this is cold brew, so it's like tons of caffeine in here, and I'm just like downing it, man. I'm just downing coffee. I'm drinking it like water. No, I buy them. I buy them. My mom doesn't buy them. I buy them. I mean, I wish I mean, I really need some kind of intervention when it comes to the coffee. Unfortunately, though, I'm going to get headaches and fatigue when I start. Somebody says, you're not going to get special treatment for your caffeine addiction. Stop trying. I guess you're right. I just need to try self-control here. Somebody asked me, do my SNAP food stamps buy my coffee? Yeah, interestingly enough, that's all I buy from my diet is like Cheerios, bananas, and coffee. That's what I eat. That's like that. That's my diet. I'm gonna get stomach or esophageal cancer or some form of cancer. It's bad. My diet is just coffee, Cheerios, bananas, and whatever my mom makes me. Somebody says you should try improving yourself. Self-growth. At least I don't have cigarettes. I could be like people in the 60s. Coffee, Cheerios, and cigarettes. At least I don't smoke. That would just just imagine having a nicotine addiction on top of this. It'd be really bad. So, I mean, interestingly enough, when I asked my primary care physician, is coffee bad? Is coffee carcinogenic? He said, obviously, he drank like tons of pots of coffee throughout the day, throughout his life, and he's lived to an old age. I googled it. Is coffee carcinogenic? Apparently not. I don't think acid in your esophagus is good. That could probably cause inflammation and esophageal cancer. But some people drink a lot of coffee. The key is to drink a lot of water with it, and somebody says 1 small cup of black coffee a day is actually healthy. Any more than that, you're lying to yourself. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Taylor says it seems like you spend a lot of time fearing diseases instead of working on yourself. Yeah, I definitely am diagnosed with hypochondriasis, and I think everybody is afraid of cancer, obviously, but realistically speaking, yeah. Erie says this sounds like a self-made problem that you created out of boredom. Yeah, I was bored. I didn't have intimacy, and I just started drinking tons of coffee. That's my pleasure. That's my pleasure. Coffee, basically. Maybe try instead of 2 cups before the gym. Maybe try 1 cup before the gym, and try not to drink it all throughout the day. Let's try to cut my caffeine intake in half. Maybe try to do 200 milligrams of caffeine tomorrow. Greasy Geezer says caffeine is all you got. You can't give up on it. You get mild headaches. Yeah, interestingly enough, I'm like Popeye with spinach. When I have my cup of coffee, I basically just get I create some of my best content. And obviously when I don't have my coffee, I feel like The Walking Dead. I feel like a zombie, but maybe I wouldn't even need the Lamictal if I stopped the coffee, right? It's a mood stabilizer. Maybe the coffee is getting me manic. You know what I mean? That's the point of coffee, to get you manic. Taylor says you should try something. Yeah, I'll try having 1 cup of coffee tomorrow. Change my routine. I can do it. I can do it. Do it every day. Stop drinking the coffee. Yeah, I think the reason I really increased the coffee to this ridiculous degree is I'm trying to counteract the sluggishness and fatigue the Abilify causes. So, but yeah, it's gotten bad. So he says Cobenfy will help with that. Apparently, there's no sluggishness with that. Hopefully, Cobenfy gives you more energy. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know when I'm starting the Cobenfy, but hopefully as soon as possible. However, my mother brought to my attention I'm getting an endoscopy in a few days, and maybe it wouldn't be wise to start the Cobenfy before the endoscopy because I just told the guy how I was on Abilify. I don't think the Cobenfy will affect the endoscopy, but you never know. So. I could always ask. I could always ask. That's a good point. That's a good point. So he says, I don't see how the Coben fight has anything to do with your endoscopy, but your mom's a nurse and she knows best. Fair enough. Fair enough. So the art class is canceled tomorrow. I'm not really sure exactly why, but I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping for something to do tomorrow. I got no plans for tomorrow. I don't know. Cobenfy is a schizophrenia medication. Let's Google it. Cobenfy. Cobenfy. It's a medication used to treat schizophrenia in adults. So he says you have to take two, one for bipolar, one for schizophrenia. Yeah, fair enough. So he says you can't escape the Lamictal, man. I need an antipsychotic and a mood stabilizer. So he says, yeah, you do. Yes, you do, Andrew. You need an antipsychotic and a mood stabilizer. So you guys got any questions you ever wanted to ask me? Any questions? What hobbies do I do? I go to the gym. I work out on the treadmill. I walk around the neighborhood. I do artwork. I create social media content. I do have hobbies, believe it or not. A lot of them are solitary, and I don't really socially engage with many people. But I have hobbies, you know. So I'm more of a morning person than an evening person because it's like 6:30 p.m. and I'm getting tired now. I know a lot of people, obviously are more evening people. Like I'm awake at 5:30 and ready to face the day, but by this time at night, I've been up for over 12 hours and I'm getting fatigued. Thompson wants to know what hobbies I do. And he says his brother watches my videos all the time. Am I familiar with him? I don't know who your brother is. Who is your brother, Thompson? Somebody says, what do you think about as you're falling asleep? I don't know. I don't know what I think about as I'm falling asleep. I mean, I just lie in bed. Somebody says, "Are you in Joanne Greenberg world?" I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I think of. I mean, some people say you have an unusual mind, Andrew, but I don't think. I don't think. Wow, I have an unusual mind, and I just lie in bed, and usually I'm tired, and I'm just go to sleep. I don't know. Cinnamon wants to know, why is my deck so small? What does that mean? What is my deck? Have I read anything good lately? To be honest with you, I don't read books. I don't really read books, and so no. To answer your question, Rachel says, as a fellow neurospicy individual, can you share your diagnosis? My diagnosis is schizoaffective disorder, Rachel. Oh, we got a woman in the house, Rachel, and she's into comedy too. Wow, that's awesome. We got a woman who's into comedy. That's like my dream come true, man. Hey, Rachel, how art thou? Taylor says, don't sound so desperate. Yeah, you're right, Taylor. You're right. Rachel says she's a comedian. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Somebody says, have you ever heard auditory or visual hallucinations? No, I've never gotten auditory or visual hallucinations. I do get delusions, though, and it's pretty debilitating. But I suffer from psychosis. However, I don't get auditory or visual hallucinations. I don't see things or hear things. What year did I start making YouTube videos? Are we talking technically speaking, or are we talking when did I get obsessed with it? Because I think I created my first video on YouTube in 2009, and I posted another video in 2010. But I didn't start regularly making content until like 2014, 2015, and that's when I became obsessed. So technically speaking, the answer would be like 2009, 2010. But realistically, when did I become obsessed? 2014, 2015. Somebody asks me, what was the first video ever? I think the first video ever was, hi, this is me with my cell phone. This is me with my camera. I don't know. It was boring. There was really nothing to the video. And obviously, I mean, as everybody knows, I don't know, I guess I went viral with the Big and Small Mayonnaise video in 2017. And I got a big following under Cell Waters, and I got a little bit of a push, and back to mediocrity. Somebody wants to know, what was I like in 2015? Have I changed? Yeah, I think I've evolved as a person, and my content has evolved too. It's kind of like asking, these pop stars. They go through different eras. They go through different phases. I think I was funnier in a lot of ways back then. But I think I've honed my craft. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? The 2015 content, the 2017 content, the 2020 content, or me as I am now? Like, what era of me do you like? I think in a lot of ways, this is the best era. Although there was some really good. Somebody says the March 2018 saga was a moment in history. Yeah, 2018 was certainly a moment. Yeah, that was like the soy boy getting abused by my parents, wearing superhero shirts at 30 years old. Not, I mean, there's some content there that I'm proud of, but I definitely, I don't know how I was able to get a lady or I don't know how I was able to chat with women, in that era, but presently, because like realistically, I behave more like a man now. I've evolved as a person, and yeah, usually I take hiatuses for like 3 days, then I come back. Yeah, so somebody asked me, "Am I on the spectrum?" I've never been diagnosed as having autism or being on the spectrum. However, I suspect I could potentially have it, but I don't. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Nobody's diagnosed me as being on the spectrum. I suspect I see signs that I'm, like some. I suspect that I might be, but nobody has diagnosed me. And I know Dr. Garrett said I do not have autism. I know some people say, do I have narcissism? And I asked a social worker and I asked my psychopharmacologist and Dr. Garrett too, and I don't think I have narcissism. I think I do things that are narcissistic, like performing on YouTube, but I don't think I have narcissistic personality disorder. I know some people say, "Oh, this guy's narcissistic," but I don't really think I do have that. I don't know exactly why, but I know a lot of people accuse me of having narcissism. So he says you don't really do much for others, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're narcissistic. That could just be the schizoaffective and being a man child and isolated and living in a daydream world. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you have narcissistic personality disorder because you're a dependent man child. Yeah, I know. A lot of people say I don't think you're narcissistic. Um, frankly, people with narcissistic personality disorder can't laugh at themselves. They can't, you know, I forget exactly the reasons why they said I didn't have narcissistic personality disorder or why I'm not a psychopath, why I'm not a sociopath. But they just say you're not. You're just not. Those diagnoses aren't you. Some other people have accused me of having borderline personality disorder. I don't have that either. I don't know exactly why, but I don't have that. Other people have accused me of having a split personality or multiple personalities. I get emotional and I get delusional. I have a performative persona that I play on social media, but I don't have a split personality. My diagnosis is schizoaffective disorder. It's that simple. Somebody says narcissism is the new popular thing to diagnose people you don't like with. Somebody says you don't seem like you're a narcissist. My diagnosis is literally schizoaffective. And, psychiatrists, social workers have told me I don't have narcissistic personality disorder, despite people alleging I do. So, I mean, if believe what you want to, but that's what the best in the business of psychiatry have said. So, I mean, you might say I'm self-centered, and so on. So he says, if I did have it, would I be okay with it? They say you're more worried about being a narcissist than actually having it. You're more worried, oh, am I a narcissist? And, narcissists don't worry that they're narcissists. I don't know. Would I be okay with it? I guess I'd be okay with it, but I don't think I have it. Yeah, Deborah ran away from the channel. People dug up some, tweets or posts she made on X, formerly Twitter, and she left the channel. Hey, sadistic persecutor, how art thou? I never banned Deborah, by the way. I never banned her, but she left. How art thou, sadistic persecutor? Somebody says it's true. Narcissists and psychopaths don't worry about their diagnosis. Yeah, it actually is true, believe it or not. Narcissists and psychopaths don't worry that they're narcissists and psychopaths. Although schizoaffective is a bad diagnosis too. It's like, oh, but it's like I'm not a sociopath, psychopath, or narcissist. I have empathy, but I have schizoaffective. That's a scary diagnosis too. That's like schizophrenia with bipolar. So that's a scary diagnosis too. But when you can't tell what fantasy and reality is, and you blur, I mean. So to the people that thought I was the Long Island psychopath, no, I'm the Long Island schizo. Yeah, Dale is my stepfather, for those of you who want to know. Somebody says there are no diagnoses, there are just people. Yes, it's important to treat the person and not the diagnosis. Somebody asks, "Is Dale the sadistic persecutor?" It just doesn't fucking matter. It just doesn't matter, guys. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for love. I'm looking for some romance. Should I give sadistic persecutor the old quick release? He's hey Rusty, good to see you. I like you at my beck and call. I like you at my beck and call, Rusty. And quite frankly, you weren't at my beck and call today. I know that's okay though. I'll give sadistic persecutor one more try. So I was in the city today, and I was in the psychiatric hospital, though I didn't get admitted. I got a psychiatric evaluation last week, and I'm getting contamination fears. I'm worried that at some point I got contaminated with HIV, but kiss it up to God, let it go. I was in a lot of disgusting places, but everything's okay. So he says you could probably come off the psychiatric medication or lower the psychiatric medication if you find a romantic partner. Yeah, obviously, one thing we're treating is the daydreams, the delusions, and the reason I'm daydreaming is because I have no love in my life, So, but then again, Somebody says, "Is there a medication that helps with contamination fears?" It sounds like OCD. Yeah, obviously, I definitely have OCD, and it might be good to treat that. They're not going to admit me. We're going to try to put me on Cobenfy, as we discussed earlier, Horn Dog. We're going to try to put me on Cobenfy. Cobenfy. He sounds like a supervillain. Cobenfy. Cobenfy versus Abilify. Somebody says, "How is my hospital?" I was not at the hospital today, Erie. I was not at the hospital today. I was at the hospital on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving into Black Friday. Somebody says, Andrew, we can never get more burst my bubbles. You got to ask my mother. My mother is the gatekeeper to the burst my bubbles. I'm willing to do it anytime. I'm willing to do it right this second. You got to get my mother to. I got a psych evaluation. No, not today. I was talking about Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving into Black Friday, I had a psychiatric evaluation which I passed. I did not. I was in the city today. I was in the city today. I'm not going to smash any more plates or punch any more holes in the wall on my mother. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to try to be good Johnny by men at work. Somebody asked me, "Am I going to smash anything on Christmas?" No, I'm going to make sure Christmas goes well. Somebody says, it is possible you felt and still feel righteously justified in ruining Thanksgiving and you played it cool as a cucumber to get out of there as soon as possible. No, I swear to you, it wasn't premeditated. I did not intend to ruin Thanksgiving. I intended to have a good time. But, I did want to get out of there, obviously. It wasn't premeditated. It was an emotional reaction to my mother, fighting with my mother. But yeah, obviously people say they could see it coming from. We're done talking about that. We've exhausted that topic. Somebody says, it seems like somebody says, my mother was hovering over me. It was stressful. Things happened. And people could see how it could have potentially been a powder keg. But realistically, yeah, it is what it is. So he says one plate got smashed on the ground. Nobody's legs. I mean, just whatever. Let's put this behind us. I smashed a plate. Nobody got injured. I smashed a plate. No, that's not true. In fact, Dale and my father were wrong for restraining me. I mean, I was wrong for smashing the plate. I was not going after my mother, though. That's bullshit. I actually have a bruise on my arm from Dale. I'll show you. But they wanted to make sure I didn't do anything more or smash anything more. But I was not going after my mother. That's bullshit. Look, Dale actually gave me bruises on my arm from giving me like a vice grip. He gave me like a bruise on my arm. Somebody says your stepfather is the opposite of fun and is a miserable person. I mean, I'm no comment. No comment. Somebody says type 1 if you think Dale is miserable. No comment. Somebody says honestly 1. I agree. I mean, let's put it this way. I agree. Dale's miserable, not fun. But you said it. I didn't say it. And Dale needs to keep his hands to himself. By the way, just for the record, just in case my mom's watching this, they were the ones who said Dale was miserable, not me. They're all saying 1. They're all saying yes. He's the opposite of fun. So he says Dale ruined Thanksgiving. I mean, I'll take accountability for smashing the plate. But yeah, I was reactive to their narcissist. I was reacting to their narcissistic baiting. I mean, it was an overreaction. I should have just left and stayed in my apartment. But I mean, no matter how much they are trying to fuck with you, no matter how much they're trying to get you to react, you're still responsible for your reaction. You know, for example, if you smash a plate, you got to face the consequences of smashing the plate. You know? So, you know, even though they were trying to provoke me, even though they were trying to bully me, my parents, and there's no doubt in my mind they were. They'll deny that. They were. You know, you got to take accountability for your reaction to their narcissistic baiting. Know that, you know, basically once you smash the plate, all their narcissistic abuse gets erased and you get blamed. You know what I mean? You get blamed as the entire problem. Everything gets blamed on you. And, you know, it's like, oh my God, did you see Andrew's reaction? It's like, it's because you guys were needling me and trying to provoke me, you know? But such is living in this household. Once I smash the plate, all their narcissistic baiting gets washed away. It's not delusions, Dave. It's really not delusions. They knew exactly what they were doing. But, you know, whatever. It's no, they really do try to bait you. In their minds, they may not even realize they're doing it. And they deny it to everybody, but they're really doing it. Somebody says, the plate smash was a symbol of my frustrations with their abuse. Somebody says, being around Dale sounds awful, you know, but it is what it is. Somebody says, you make their lives miserable too. Somebody says, Matt says, everybody loves you, Andrew. Fair enough. Some Horn Dog says there's only so much you can take. Yeah, just avoid them. Leave the old people alone. Just avoid them. Just avoid them. Somebody says they give you food and shelter. That they do. They without a doubt give me food and shelter. Dale's an old man. Somebody asks, is Dale ugly? He's an old man. I mean, he's not. For an old man, he looks all right. I mean, but he doesn't look like a young, like hip 20-year-old. You know, he looks like somebody who's in his like 60s or 70s. Somebody wants to see Dale. All right, you want to pull up a picture of me with Dale? Fair enough, I will. All right, let's see if I can find one. Me with Dale. Okay, I got one. This is me with Dale. See, I mean, he looks good for somebody in his 60s or 70s, but I mean, he's. Somebody Taylor says he looks like a Chad. Somebody says, "Do you think Dale loves you?" I mean, to be honest with you, I don't dislike. I want Dale to love me. I mean, Dale is mogging you in that picture. What do you mean mogging? What does that mean? What does mogging mean? It means he's taller and he's flexing. Yeah, no, the dryer is done, interestingly enough. You know what? You know what though? I mean, honestly, I want to have a good relationship with him. I want to have a loving relationship with him. You know, I want a loving relationship with my mother, father, and stepfather for that matter. But you know, lately it just seems like all we do is fucking fight. All three, I mean, and obviously take accountability. I often protest, tell me the truth, and they're just sick. I mean, but they're unkind to me too. I don't know, man. I mean, nobody wants to fight. Do you still need a relationship with your stepfather at 37 years old? They ask. No, I guess I don't. So just have nothing to do with him, and avoid the old people and live my own life. But you know, I mean, ideally, it's better to coexist and get along with people than have no relationship. But you know, realistically, I hear what you're saying. So he says there is truth to the fact that they are fed up, they are burnt out, they are fatigued, and they've had enough. I'm burnt out, fatigued, and I've had enough. We have a hostile, dependent relationship. So he says if you were on your own, you wouldn't even talk to them. Like, look at my brother; he has no relationship with them, basically. Somebody says you need a relationship with a girl. Somebody says stop fighting with the old people and get a relationship with a girl or a woman. You know, meet somebody, meet a romantic partner. Can we see my brother? My brother really is adamant that I don't share him on social media, so I'm not going to share a photograph of my brother. But he exists. So he says, make some friends first. I do have some friends, but so he says, make some friends, and then the girlfriend will come after. I'm not going to share a photo of my brother. We didn't get to that point. Supposedly, he was supposed to arrive at Thanksgiving, but the plate was smashed, and I was in the hospital. I don't know if he arrived after I was taken away in an ambulance, but maybe he was. Maybe he was there. Maybe they celebrated Thanksgiving even after I left. I don't know. Maybe they did. I smashed the plate on the floor. Somebody says, I'm sure after you smashed the plate, everybody left fairly quickly. Fair enough. Did the ambulance restrain you? The police were like, oh, do you have any like needles in your pockets or anything that could hurt us? I'm like, no. I know what's happening here. I'm getting taken to the hospital. Here's my car keys. Let's have a party. Let's sit in the ambulance. They saw I was not really a danger. They saw I was not a danger to myself or others. I was on good behavior. I'm like, hey, police officers, wow. And they're like, yeah, a lot of people are getting taken to the hospital today. I guess a lot of people fight with their parents on Thanksgiving. I was like the well-behaved guy getting taken for a psychiatric evaluation. I was like the guy who was like, yeah, let's go party at the psych ward on Thanksgiving. Let's go try to pass this psychiatric evaluation with a C plus and get discharged. Let's try not to get admitted. Let's try to do everything right. Thanksgiving memories. Yes, so my goal is to ruin every special day. So I was hospitalized in the psychiatric hospital on my birthday. I was hospitalized on Thanksgiving. We all know what happened on New Year's. So my goal is to have traumatic memories for every special day of the year. I'm just joking. No, it really wasn't my goal. I'm making a fucking joke. It was not premeditated. I'm making a joke here. So what's next? Christmas? Maybe I could get a cancer diagnosis on Christmas. I swear, Taylor, it was not premeditated. Believe what you want to. Believe what you want to, but it was not premeditated. I mean, if you want to believe it was, that's fine. I mean, I realize there's a lot of evidence that it was, but it's false evidence because I went in there intending to have a good time. I went in there with the switch toggled off, hoping to get along with my parents. But it didn't end that way. But I swear to you, I didn't go in there intending to ruin Thanksgiving. I swear. Okay, if you want to think I intended to do it, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But it wasn't premeditated. Believe what you want to. Believe what you want to, Taylor. But it wasn't. There was no premeditated intent to ruin Thanksgiving. And that's the fact. My intent was to have a good time. I mean, it really doesn't matter either way. Even I mean, I would literally. I'm Mr. Honesty and Transparency. I would literally admit to it if I did it. I would literally admit to it, but I didn't. Thanksgiving was ruined, that's for sure. All right, anybody want me to call my father? And no, I wasn't picking on my folks. It was an emotional reaction to my mother. Whatever. Just let's change the topic. Filling up the water bottle. All right. Now let's call my father to get the Abilify here. Nightly med check. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's call Poppy here. Okay. Okay. Ring-a-ling-ling-ling. I think it's. Hey, I got you on the live stream, so don't talk about plans for world domination, okay? I got you on the live stream, so don't talk about plans for world domination, all right? You're on the live stream. All right, I'm gonna take my medication now. Yeah, you're breaking up. I don't know. Signal isn't coming in too good tonight. All right, I'm taking my medication. Okay. Do you want to you want to go live and ask questions with the people? We got 10 people in the house. You want me to call you back on the number? Yeah. Do you want me to put you on speaker and you can talk to the inpatients? We got 10 people in the house. Do you want to talk to them? I'll put you on speaker. Okay, here we go. We got Poppy in the house.
Hey, inpatients. How are you doing tonight?
My Poppy is asking the inpatients how they're doing. Dave says, Poppy! Fist bump to Poppy.
All right. I just fist bumped Dave.
Poppy fist bump Dave.
How did anybody watch football yesterday?
Did anybody watch football? Sadistic Persecutor says he did. Erie says she did. Matthew says he did.
What teams do they root for?
Rusty says, of course. Rusty roots for the Chicago Bears.
Right, I remember that from last time.
Yeah. Matthew roots for the New York Giants.
Okay.
Erie roots for the Buffalo Bills. Sadistic Persecutor roots for the Minnesota Vikings. And I guess Poppy roots for the New York Jets. And Rusty also roots for the Oakland Raiders.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas Raiders. Fair enough. Yeah, they changed. I'm unfamiliar.
Now, the Buffalo game in the snow was pretty interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's always cool when there's like the elements of Mother Nature involved, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So how was everybody's day?
How was their days? How was your days, guys? What did you do? So Poppy and I were in the city. We won't say what we were in the city for, but did you ever feel like the city is really grimy and disgusting? Like, obviously, like you see homeless people, you see fecal matter on the street, you smell urine everywhere, especially in bad neighborhoods. Isn't that disgusting? Don't you hate the city for that reason? How disgusting and grimy it is?
Of course. That's why winter's cool because everything freezes.
Yeah, I guess so. I always worry about drug paraphernalia and urine and fecal matter in the city. Obviously when I get home from the city, I often strip down and have to Lysol my shoes and throw everything in the wash and take a shower. Is that common? Do a lot of people do that? Like you, when you got home from the city today, did you immediately shower or did you sit down?
Yeah, but that's why I went to the restroom after we left the place because, I didn't have to do anything like that out on the street.
No, I mean, did you take a shower when you got home from the city?
I guess I did.
Yeah, see, I think that's common. I think a lot of people feel like they're contaminated and dirty from the city. I know I probably have a form of OCD, but I know a lot of people who go into the city feel like they're just contaminated and dirty and, have to get home and clean their clothes and clean the shoes, and they can't walk through the apartment with the city shoes on. Do you feel that way?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, but besides that, we had a nice lunch too afterward.
Yeah, we went to the Massapequa Diner afterwards. After we came home from the city, I had a lamb gyro. Poppy had. What did you have?
A Reuben sandwich.
A Reuben sandwich.
And yeah, they had a good lunch special. It came with chicken soup.
Yeah.
And coleslaw and a pickle.
I know the Massapequa Diner often says, "Oh, Jerry Seinfeld ate here once or twice." You think someday they're going to say Poppy and the Wild Man ate at the Massapequa Diner? If you look on their website, it says Jerry Seinfeld ate here once or twice. You think someday down the line, if you and I become big from Poppy and the Wild Man, they're going to say Poppy and the Wild Man ate at the Massapequa Diner and put it on the website?
I think they're probably doing it already.
Maybe. The Baldwins. The Baldwins ate here, and so did Jerry Seinfeld and the Long Island serial killer. I'm just joking about the Long Island serial killer. But I bet you Rex...
With the Baldwins, they say the Baldwins ate here but didn't shoot anyone.
I bet you Rex Humerman ate there, too. He was from Massapequa Park. I bet you he ate there, too.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
The Long Island serial killer? The Gilgo Beach killer?
Oh yeah, that's... Okay.
Rex Humerman. I bet you Rex Humerman ate there too, but they have to promote Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld is good. It's like wrestling. It's like, oh, Eddie Guerrero is good to promote. Chris Benoit is bad to promote. You can promote Jerry Seinfeld eating here, but Rex Humerman eating here, bad.
I looked at the menu and didn't know what to eat.
Right. I actually ate at the diner. He's one of the biggest celebrities from Massapequa and the Baldwins. That's what Massapequa is known for, right?
I tried to do my Jerry Seinfeld.
It was a little cringy.
What do I order?
It was a little cringy, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, excellent.
It certainly made me cringe. So
Oh, hey, yeah, they should have they should start naming like I know the Brown Derby in California back the 50s and stuff. They would have booths with famous actors and actresses that ate in the place. The Massapequa Diner should have that also.
yeah, someday they'll put Poppy's picture on the wall. They'll put my picture on the wall right next to Seinfeld and Rex Humerman and the Baldwins. Who else is from Massapequa? I think that's it. Rex Humerman, Seinfeld, the Baldwins, and Poppy and the Wild Man.
Yeah, and also there's somebody from Fox News that lives there also.
Oh, okay.
I forget who it is exactly, but yeah, somebody from Fox News lives in Massapequa.
Oh, cool. And the Fox News dude.
Yep.
All right. Do you have anything else to talk about, or you want to wrap up this live stream?
Yeah, I guess it. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Anybody have any more questions, or should I wrap this up? All right, guys. Actually, I'm going to be doing a podcast with Rusty, actually, and we're going to be discussing Rex Humerman, the Gilgo Beach Killer, and we're going to be discussing Chris Benoit. We're going to be discussing some true crime shows. So you're more than welcome to get on the Discord and promote in the show if you'd like. But I don't know if you know how to get on Discord.
Is that probably an app, right?
Yeah, it's an app. Rusty was trying to say, obviously get Poppy on here and get him interacting on the live stream. I mean, all you have to do is call in, but you have to get the Discord app. I mean, we could get.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Downloading that app.
Yeah, look into Discord because we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about Rex Humerman, the Gilgo Beach Killer. We're going to talk about Chris Benoit, and you could obviously contribute to both those topics.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. Hey, thanks for everybody. Thanks for having me on today.
You're welcome.
And I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, peace out.
Peace out.
Okay, Matthew wants to join the Discord. I'll share with you the Discord link, and I'll add you. So to people who want to join the Discord, here's the link, guys. Invite people, copy. Bam. There's the Discord link. What happens on the Discord? I just rant, tell me the truth, and I post my artwork. Nothing happens on there. I mean, but if you want to join, you can, Rick. Somebody says, lame stuff, Rick. Lame stuff happens on the Discord. It's not too good. It's like the Discord of a schizoaffective man. It's like the Discord of a schizoaffective man. But sometimes you see some cool artwork on there. The art section isn't too bad. All right, guys. Peace out. Have a good evening. Adios, amigos and amigas. And Matt, did you get the link? Matt, did you get the link? Just before I go, I want to make sure Matt got the Discord link. He's got it. All right. Peace out, guys.